Donald Trump really seems to love losing, and after being absolutely shellacked by Democrats on Tuesday, he is now also embracing losing members of his own party. Donald Trump is going to war with Senate Republicans right now, and he's not coming out victorious, but of course the most outspoken Republican against Donald Trump right now is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is quite literally declaring war on Donald Trump today in a new report, as well as an appearance on CNN in which she was just shredding this administration. The Civil War is beautiful to watch, but we are going to get into this new reporting. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you, leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we can get into this breaking news about Marjorie Taylor Greene breaking with Donald Trump in the biggest way yet, I want to start with what she had to say on CNN, kind of coloring this all, especially as she was asked about the Epstein files.
Is the need for more transparency around the Epstein files. You even told us last month that you're concerned about threats because you want to expose some of the people in power who were on Jeffrey Epstein, who was part of Jeffrey Epstein's ring. According to the survivors, there's a list of men they haven't released yet. You said you're willing to read that list on the House floor. What more can you tell us about that and the names?
Oh, I told the lovely women that I met that are victims of Jeffrey Epstein, they also say they are victims of another group of men, one that they're afraid to list publicly, and I told them that I'd be happy to read that name on the House floor for them. There hasn't been any movement forward on that. Of course, that's up to those women and that's their decision. However, I remain steadfast in my belief is that all of this information should be released. No one should be protected. That's completely unfair. And I think it's a failure of administration that they never released it. No one has released this stuff. And so this is something that the American people are extremely angry about. I think it also played a part in Tuesday's election of why some people are just mad and they don't want to go vote. And it's not going away anytime soon.
Have you made your concerns about the Epstein files known to the president directly?
Yes, yes, I have. I don't share my personal conversations with the president, but I did express how important it is.
Now, I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been outspoken against this administration, several Republicans in Congress, of course, this shutdown right now, but I still don't want to pretend like she's a serious person and that she's some courageous individual. This is clearly part for her of a very strategic political move, and we're going to get into that more in a bit, as well as what AOC had to say about this obvious strategic move. But I will say, I'll take it. And I think Democrats need to capitalize a little bit on the fractures of this party. One thing that I don't think that we should do is be necessarily lifting up Marjorie Taylor Greene and pretending that she's a voice of reason. I think that we should say Republicans are waking up to what we have been talking about this entire time. Maybe now it's politically convenient for them, and so they will vote to release the Epstein files, at least a few of them. But this is work that we have been doing all along. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you can try to take credit for it. Maybe it'll work with the base, but I'm certainly not going to give you credit. But I will allow you to continue to criticize Donald Trump like she did here.
Is there anything, though, you'd critique or do differently?
My critique is not being focused on America first, but I largely blame that on our Congress because I serve in the House. I also blame that on who's advising him in the White House. You know, keeping him on nonstop tours around the world and nonstop meetings with foreign countries' leaders is not America first.
Again, a valid criticism that Donald Trump is not America first. He's not. He's sending unnecessary billions to Argentina and Israel. He wants to start endless stupid wars. Donald Trump is not looking out for you when he launches his tariff campaign that ultimately raises prices on working people. Billionaires don't care. Their profits are still huge. The stock market is soaring because Donald Trump has artificially inflated the market. Like, that's what's happening right now. Nothing is to our benefit. That is an accurate description of Donald Trump. But still, Marjorie, how are you America first? You're signing on to big tax cuts for billionaires. You're not helping out working people. You want to dismantle Obamacare, not expand healthcare access for working people. So I don't really believe Marjorie Taylor Greene. I believe that she's launching a very self-interested campaign, and it's a campaign against Donald Trump, who of course we know wants to run in 2028. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's got some other thoughts. Marjorie Taylor Greene reportedly gearing up for 2028 presidential run as a real MAGA Republican. Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to follow Donald Trump and become president of the United States. Greene, according to Wednesday report from Notice, is plotting a 2028 presidential run, with one source saying she believes she is real MAGA and that other Republicans have strayed. The report, based on 4 sources familiar with MTG's thinking, noted she is also trying to connect with a more national audience outside of the hardcore MAGA base. Yeah, so that's going to go up in flames. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, in a moment in which Republicans have really never been more unpopular, at least in the Trump era, saying that she wants to run as real MAGA, I don't think is the win that she thinks it is. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying she's taking this America First lane, which honestly, I do think Democrats should be branding ourselves as America First. We are America First. We care about Americans. That doesn't mean we don't stand with our allies in Ukraine. That doesn't mean we don't understand our role in the world, but we do it strategically. We're not just shipping billions of dollars to Argentina so, Donald Trump's friends on Wall Street can save themselves a couple of losses, or dumping billions into Israel while they have free healthcare and free college and, free childcare. Of course, we don't have those things, but of course the AIPAC donations have won out over any real care for what's happening in America. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to war with Donald Trump, essentially saying that he is not real MAGA. I don't know why anyone would want to be, first of all. But also, let's point out the fact that J.D. Vance is afraid to even suggest he's thinking about maybe running for president because he knows he always has to, entertain the ridiculous and criminal, by the way, let's point out, criminal ideas of the dear leader that he wants to run again, that he wants to be king forever, that he has to be in charge. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's saying, why not? I'll run. But there's a reason that this is all happening right now. There's a reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene is testing those presidential waters. That's going to blow up in her face. Great. We'll watch it. We'll enjoy it. We'll laugh at it. We'll have fun. There's a reason that she is fighting with Donald Trump. There's a reason she is at conflict with her party. And I've been talking about this for a bit, but no one broke it down more perfectly than AOC.
Here's some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
Marjorie Taylor Greene really does represent how removed from reality that these people are. Of course, because she is a crazed conspiracy theorist who wants to attribute the harm being done to Americans every day by some kind of imaginary cabal she's concocted in her mind of these elites who were going after you and da-da-da, but like not actually acknowledging that like Elon Musk and Larry Ellison and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, the guys that she helped hand billion-dollar tax cuts, are the actual elites making your life worse. She doesn't understand that. But what AOC points out here that is so important is that Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't understand, Nancy Mace doesn't understand, all these MAGA women don't understand that they will never get respect. And then they have their feelings hurt, they get upset, they lash out, oh my God, you're attacking me because I'm a MAGA woman. They're undermining me as a MAGA woman. But what they don't get is that it's just about broader misogyny. You are a part of upholding systems that make it more difficult for you to advance in your political career. You don't get that. And they don't see this as, wow, conservatism does not uplift women. This conservative ideology tries to subjugate them. Maybe I should rethink my worldview. They say no. They're not attacking conservatives that is, women more broadly, they're attacking me, a singular woman. They're going after me, the singular person. They're upset, not that there are systems in place to subjugate women, to subjugate minorities, to subjugate black and brown people, trans people, immigrants in America. They're mad that it is finally caught up to them. So don't take them seriously. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not an advocate for women. That's fucking laughable. Get out of here. Nancy Mace, not a fucking shot. They are selfish individuals who are trying to grift off of what is true, that they are disliked, undermined, attacked by members of their own party for the fact that they're women. But if they wanted to fix that, then fix the systems that uphold this misogyny. They are not going to do so. They do not deserve to be taken seriously, and they certainly do not deserve our sympathy. That much is true and obvious. They do not. Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing this for political purposes. Marjorie Taylor Greene has spoken out in a way that Democrats should about the genocide of the Palestinian people. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is being opportunistic in doing so. She's a bigot. She's an actual anti-Semite. And so she's trying to conflate those things in the same way Republicans conflate our criticisms of the Israeli government and the apartheid state that is Israel, the genocide that they've committed, how they conflate our desire to have AIPAC money in the Israel lobby, because don't forget about DMFI either, out of our politics, and they say that that's anti-Semitism, but they're actually the real anti-Semites. They're the bigots. So let's not believe these people. Let's not take them seriously. Let's continue to beat them. Speaking of which, AOC, who we just heard from, had some great thoughts on the midterms, or not the midterms, the coming midterms, but the big election that we just had, and I want to take a listen to what she had to say.
So don't come to me about who is trying to keep people dependent on SNAP, WIC, and EBT, because it is actually Republicans who are doing everything in their power to keep you paid as little as possible that are increasing dependency on these programs. Now, the difference is that I don't believe people should die when that happens. That's the difference. So I believe that SNAP should exist. Yes. I believe WIC should exist. Yes. I believe Medicaid should exist. Because I think that when people are put in the most desperate positions in this country, that there should be a social contract. I think that's why we pay taxes. That's what I want my taxes to go to. When I pay taxes, I want that money to go to feeding people, educating people, healthcare, housing, not tax cuts for the very rich that are already profiting from keeping people poor.
We can keep beating these people. So let's. It's as simple as that. And we're going to continue to talk about that and fight for that and make that happen on this show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. Leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting. Don't let them silence you, y'all. And until next time, I'll see you soon.